steeple. You damn well know they're one of the people. Nobody breaks us, nobody made us, and no one can take this because we got their fix. We are the people, we are the people, we are the people. Don't mess with this.
Good morning. It is
Tuesday.
Patrick and the People Tuesday. What is going on? Rich Rockwell in the house today. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
Man, how are you, man?
I am doing good. Recovering
Hell yeah.
nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Voice is still a little, hoarse.
Little horse from the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I did look up yesterday, though, like some different, I was like, look, I actually went on Grok, and I didn't even tell you this. I went on Grok and I typed in, I'm like, look, I like to drink Mountain Dew as like my main source of hydration.
Oh, yeah. That's
but I'm an
Did
announcer.
it like that?
Yeah. It was like, you should, whatever.
Maybe you should reconsider.
Right. But I did type in, I was like, what would be something comparable for me to drink that would also help, like, soothe my throat as an announcer? And so, because I also, like, I know you had mentioned tea.
Hot tea,
Yeah.
hot coffee, anything warm.
And, and I am not a tea drinker. Like,
No, I
I
get
cannot
that.
stand the taste
Yeah, I'm
of
a
it.
coffee
So,
guy.
yeah. But coconut water.
Oh, yeah?
It recommended coconut water.
Okay,
And
well,
I was
maybe
like,
that
all right,
would
we'll have
help.
to try
I don't
that
know.
out. So, yeah.
I've always, I learned, I guess, earlier on with my voice that warm is what opens the vocal cords, cold is what constricts them.
Yeah.
So that's why, for me, it's warm because I want to open mine up, so I don't have that problem. But yeah, no, that is interesting, and I've never tried that, so I'm.
Yeah, I don't know. I may
Maybe
give
worth
it a
trying.
shot
Yeah,
and
see
see,
what happens there. Yeah.
something.
No, it definitely is.
I'm just not a hot person
I get it.
drinker.
And it is summer, and
Right.
it makes it even more challenging for people.
Yeah.
I'll fight it until it's in the 90s, and I'll still drink coffee till I can't. At certain point it gets too hot. You're just like, screw it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, I have something added to it.
Man, it's going to be a good show today. We got
is.
lots to talk about, lots and lots of stuff going on today. So I hope everybody will stick around and enjoy that. Let's go ahead and get started. We'll go ahead and get into a little bit of news you can use. Let's see what we give a damn to talk about this morning. Yeah. No. Okay, let's go to this next one. Yeah, I wouldn't. It was too much. All right. Hey, apparently a cup of coffee in the morning can help women stay healthy as they get older. Research followed a group of 50,000 women for 30 years. Drinking 2.5 cups of coffee a day was linked to staying mentally sharp and physically strong later in life. So you see, there's another
There you
benefit
go.
of coffee
Right.
there.
There you go.
Yeah. Disney is laying off several hundred of its employees, according to Deadline, which reports that most of those are across divisions of Disney Entertainment, with corporate financial operations also being impacted. The cuts include show development. It's the fourth round of layoffs by the giant in the past 10 months. Just over 200 employees from ABC News Group and Disney's entertainment networks let go. They ought to be putting two and two together. Why are we having to let people go? Well, because we're not making as much money. Well, why are we not making as much money? Maybe you're not making things that people want to see.
All right.
I don't know. A gas station robber in Pennsylvania, pretty creative. It worked. The suspect wore a hoodie and a face mask when he entered a gas station in Abington Township while on rollerblades. He wielded a gun and a knife, got some cash, and then skated away. He's still at large. Anyone know where Gay Terry is? I don't know if you know who that is from.
I don't. I was going to say, who's that? But just the fact of him on skating away on rollerblades, that was, wow.
Gay Terry is a character on Reno 911. That's
Oh.
Nick Swartzen.
Okay.
And he's always on roller.
Yeah, I know who that guy is.
Yeah. But it's funny. That character's funny as hell to me. That show is actually pretty funny if you watch it. I mean, it's cute. New details emerged yesterday in the case of Mohammed Suleiman, the 45-year-old Egyptian man who attacked a group of demonstrators at the Pearl Street Mall in Boulder, Colorado, Sunday. He was in the U.S. illegally after his B-2 visa expired in February of 2023. He did use a makeshift flamethrower and threw Molotov cocktails. He had several more in the car. He lived in Colorado Springs. He planned the attack for a year. He learned to make Molotov cocktails on YouTube. They're not really that. It's not a challenge. You can learn to make that in your backyard as a 12-year-old too. Okay, we made them as kids. We didn't know that's what they were called till later in life. He had been denied a gun purchase, by the way, so he was unable to purchase a gun, and that's why he chose what he did.
Right.
You know, so sometimes, even though, you know, and I'm glad that he couldn't get a gun, but sometimes, you know, even the best gun laws, you can't, you know, prevent crazy from being crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
If you aim to do harm to people, you will find a way.
Where there's a will, there's a way. As much as I hate to say that in this instance, but yeah.
But I mean, you know, if you look at London, you know, this is their big problem. Their big problem is that people drive into crowds.
Right.
That's what London faces, or knife attacks, because they've gotten rid of the guns.
Right. But you can still.
They haven't gotten rid of violence.
Right.
You know, and that's what people fail to realize is those who want to do that are going to do that.
One way or the other.
And I wish that you know, you could just stop it, but you know, first of all, you got to address the mental health challenges that these people have, and plus you have to get them off the internet where the wackos are, and that's real hard. That's probably the hardest part. Let's see. Okay, here's a few briefs for you. A huge cloud of dust from Africa's Sahara Desert covered the Caribbean yesterday, marking the biggest dust event this year. Why is this a big deal?
Well, because it's that, like we had it last year. We're supposed to get it again this year.
Yeah,
it's just, you know,
it's just the dust,
a whole bunch of dust from
the desert that flies around the world.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's if you see sand in the air, it's dust from the Sahara Desert. Move along with your life. David Richardson, the new head of FEMA, may have been joking, but he still shocked staff during a briefing yesterday saying he didn't know the U.S. had the hurricane season. He was definitely joking. It runs from June 1st through November 30th each year. Sources said the comment confused employees. Yeah, he's just being stupid. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
You know, come on. You're not aware of that. Who's not aware of that? Just 6-year-olds are aware of that. The Supreme Court declined to hear a challenge to Maryland's ban on AR-15 style rifles and high-capacity magazines yesterday, leaving the law in place. That law in 2013 passed after Sandy Hook. It bans certain semi-automatic rifles and limits magazines to 10 rounds. Gun right groups argued it violates the Second Amendment, but the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals upheld it, saying those aren't protected because they're like military arms. Now,
right.
Yeah, I mean, they're not, but I understand they look like that, you know, but they're not. Like, trust me, they are not even in the ballpark of the military version of that. Now, you can get stuff to make it, again, if you're crazy and you have the will, you can convert a weapon into an automatic weapon. I mean, you know, at some point, you can do it.
Right.
You know, whether it's online, buying stuff through the internet, in person over time. I mean, if you're dead set on doing it, you can do it, right? Yeah. Let's see. No. Hey, here's a good one. During a flight from Turkey to Mexico, 35-year-old Marciela Quezada suffered a stroke. She was saved thanks to quick action by an onboard doctor. The unnamed doctor quickly administered oxygen, pushed for an emergency landing in Houston. She was treated before being moved to a hospital in Woodlands and underwent surgery to remove a blood clot, now expected to make a full recovery. And the doctor didn't even want. He said, "Please don't just let it be." They didn't want to be. They didn't want to be acknowledged by name.
Wow,
that's pretty cool.
That is, man.
Yeah, no, I'm just doing my job. You know what I mean?
Just saving your life. Just live it.
Mark Hamill has confirmed he has no plans to return as Luke Skywalker. He said he's done with it. Guess what? We've been done with you for a long time. You sold Luke out, okay? You turned Luke into some kind of punk bitch and a villain, and I don't like it. So, no, man, you violated all my childhood stuff with your recent portrayal of Luke Skywalker. No, goodbye, Mark. Goodbye. Go away, please. We told you about Bonnie Blue yesterday. If you don't know, that's the OnlyFans chick that hooked up with 1,000 dudes in 24 hours. Now she's going to double it. So, yay, goals.
Right.
For anyone who might be curious, carrying venomous snakes through the airport's not a good idea. At an airport in Mumbai, an Indian citizen arrested and detained after authorities realized he was trying to illegally smuggle 47 venomous snakes from Thailand.
Jeez.
Yeah, vipers, all of which were hidden in his check bag. They were taken by Wildlife Protection Authority, and he's now in jail. Yeah, he's in a checked bag himself now. Man, I want to save that. I want to talk about that here in a little bit. I want to open that up. All it takes is one runaway pet zebra to wreak havoc on the highway. On Saturday in Nashville, a zebra broke free belonging to an unnamed couple. Don't know what was restraining it, but it caused chaos on both sides of the interstate. Reports say the wayward zebra managed to scurry off into the woods and was still free as of yesterday. For those wondering, it's not illegal to own a zebra in Tennessee, but it's not recommended due to their unpredictable nature and tendency to attack. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize zebras are mean as hell, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, they are not friendly.
Wow.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, a lot of zebras are very aggressive.
It doesn't surprise me anymore, man. It seems like all the animals that I grew up as a kid being like, I wish I could own one, will like kill you. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprise, wild
Right.
animals kill you.
Like I used to be like, oh man, it'd be fun to have a kangaroo, and then I
No.
learned now they can
No, they'll
beat
screw you right up.
Yeah.
No, they'll mess you right up, man. They're a
They're
big,
like the Muhammad Ali of
man, they're a
animals,
big
yeah.
problem there. I mean, they're beloved, but they're still a big problem.
And panda bears, they're cute. They'll just eat you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get close enough.
All the cute stuff is gonna kill me, man.
Well, yeah, just like
That's why I stay single.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's best. If you've been to the UK or Ireland, you might have come across a do-it-yourself store by the name of B&Q. That's the name of the chain of stores that's been, quote, forced to apologize after they advertised a storage unit, said it was so easy to put together that even if you're a girl, you could. In their apology, they said it came courtesy of a third-party seller, and after the outrage, the company was quick to remove the offending listing. Used to be people had a sense of humor, but now they don't at all. We get it. Okay, we can all do the same things for the most part, right?
Degenerate Grappling said, imagine being the last guy in line for Bonnie Blue or whatever.
Oh, no, I don't want to be the first. What are you talking about? Listen, at some point, as I said, her nether region's going to file assault charges against her. And there's going to be a court case from her suing her going, I can't do anymore. You are violating me, Japanese scientist created a virtual reality game that might actually improve eyesight. It makes players focus on objects moving at different distances, exercising eye muscles to help with focusing issues. They did a 6-week study, and 10 young adults with nearsightedness played the game, and their vision got better.
I mean, hey, good for
Interesting.
them, that is.
No, that's clever. I mean, that's really interesting.
Your vision will be better, but you'll still be dizzy as you can be.
Right.
Have you ever used one of those?
Man, I did, and that did happen to me. You know what? I can do the basic stuff. If I'm walking around, if I'm, like there's a game called Bar Fight. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Where you just go into a bar and you fight.
And you just fight.
And you fight anybody and everybody. And it's a blast. And that was fine. But as soon as I got into a moving game, a vehicle type game,
Yeah.
it was over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was over because I immediately got dizzy to a point of sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it was 24 hours before I felt right again.
Yeah,
I only
man.
had it on for a short time.
Yeah.
It's a real, now they say you'll get past that, but I'm like, maybe my body's telling me I shouldn't. I don't like it, but I'm thrilled with the idea. I mean, I did have, the VR headsets, but number one, they're pretty crude, really, when you get in there. I mean, it's not, most of the time, it's not as cool as you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's still pretty rudimentary, the way you incorporate yourself into it.
Yeah. I got what you're saying. I never played many games on it. Like,
There's a great shooting range you can do that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, they got one of those, and you can use, any kind of weapon in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty damn fun. In Farmington, Connecticut, a bear broke into a family's lot car Saturday, caused major damage. The family shared photos with the television station showing a smashed roof and broken windows. The bear got in by tearing through a door and the roof, even though the car was locked. He ripped the car apart in the process. I mean, he literally stripped the car down. I don't know what he smelled or wanted in that car, but it was something he thought was delicious. If you're going to try to boost a tire off a vehicle, you might want to know who it belongs to. A thief was arrested in Newark, New Jersey on Sunday after he tried to steal a tire from an off-duty police officer's personal vehicle. It's about 4 a.m. The officer spotted the man removing the tire and confronted him. They fought. Somebody flagged down a nearby patrol car. Police arrested the suspect, whose charges weren't shared. The off-duty officer, the suspect, and one responding officer who had a hand injury were taken for evaluation. Nobody seriously hurt. But what a dumbass. You know, he's probably like, God, this is my luck, isn't it? Yeah, here you go. Here's another one. 20-year-old personal trainer, Magyar Azarbanyad, caused a massive crash on A1 near Newcastle, England, while on a first date. Driving a BMW, he sped over 120 miles an hour, fled police after they spotted him for speeding and faulty taillights. He initially stopped, then drove off, leading a chase. The crash wrecked 5 police cars, injured 7 officers. One needed stitches, another was in the hospital 3 days. He had no license or insurance, pleaded guilty to dangerous driving, jailed for 14 months. The judge said it was a miracle nobody died. Yeah, man, I mean, he must have been driving pretty good, though, to get away from all them.
I mean,
you know, that's pretty good.
Did it say it was a first date?
Yeah, it did. Bad first date.
Right. Or I mean, great one. Like,
great.
Talk about right. You're never going to live up to that. Like,
yeah, no, I'll wait for you until you get out. There's nothing that's going to be more exciting than you, baby. Yeah.
Every other date she's going to go on, they're going to be like, so what's your best first date story? Well, let me tell you.
Yeah, no, she's always going to be the one-up chick.
Yeah.
Listen, I wish my kids were this ambitious. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, at least when they were teenagers, I wish they'd been even this ambitious. I get it's not the right direction, okay? Even though we're talking about a slew of crimes, you do got to respect the effort. In Maryland, a 16-year-old has been nailed with a massive number of charges after being accused of breaking into 121 cars in one night. 54 of those break-ins happened in the Laurel Police Department jurisdiction. When they arrested the teen suspect, he was in possession of multiple credit cards, vehicle keys, all kinds of other items he stole. But again, 121 in one
Dude,
night.
yeah, that's
overachieving. He probably did too much. That's probably what got you caught. Is someone said, this dude seems to be working way too hard.
All right.
Why is this young man working that hard? Nobody that age does. So apply that in a different area or get better at not getting caught. Because you were doing the Gone in 60 Seconds.
I was just thinking that. I was like, man, he must be a fan of that old movie.
He was Nick Cage in it all
right?
by himself. You know what I mean?
Dude's going to be running it in jail.
Tomorrow night is game 1 of the hockey finals between the Panthers and Oilers. There's still time to lay down bets if you've got a hunch on the series. The Oilers are the favorite to win the series outright. The shots on goal favorites are Connor McDavid, Sam Bennett, and Leon Draisaitl. The length of the series market favors 6 or 7 games. Gamblers have the series ending in favor of the Panthers in 6 games or the Oilers in 7. The over-under on hat tricks is set at a half. Let's see. The over-under on total series goals, 35.5, with the over and under both set at negative 115, minus 115. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else here? Oh, Saquon Barkley. He's going to be on the Madden 26 cover. Is this a good idea? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's always like a curse. After the insane numbers he put up last season with the Eagles, not a shock to see him grace the cover of Madden 26. It pays tribute to the amazing reverse hurdle jump that Barkley performed over the head of Jag defender in Week 9 last year in the EA Sports hype video. Barkley says it goes all the way back to being a kid playing video games and asking, why can't I do this in real life? And he did. He's an exciting player. While appearing on the Mind the Game podcast, LeBron James doled out his opinion on what he thinks the biggest problem in youth sports is today. James said too many are focusing on just one sport all year round, and they get burned out. He said when he was in school, he and his friends did track and field in addition to basketball, and he said that kept him interested and active through the year. I don't know if that's true or not true, but an interesting take nonetheless.
Yeah. I've heard of multiple like student athletes doing that though, where they may do like basketball and track and field.
Most of them do play more than one thing,
Yeah,
I think.
football, baseball.
I think overwhelmingly kids in sports do more than one thing.
I would think so. I mean, it would just make sense.
It does. I mean, if you're that person, you're that person.
Well, that and I mean, really,
Unless you're like, Kenny Powers. You know what I mean? Let's see. What are the people saying, buddy?
They are saying.
What's up, Brad?
Yeah.
Tasha?
Mark Wooten said, "What's up?" Oh, Tasha's here today.
Well, she's on the.
She's in
chat
comments.
there,
Oh,
looks
okay.
like.
Well, I'm glad she could fit us into her schedule.
Yeah, there's a morning to Wendy and to who else is on here? Brandon. Good morning to you.
Nicholas Rogers says, "Good morning."
What's up, man? How you
Dear
doing?
Gigger says, "Good morning." So.
The little doggy said, indeed, the Surgeon General says cocaine keeps your sinuses clear when used correctly.
That's because
we'll do that.
Brandon had said earlier when we were talking about new drinks for the voice, he says Coke would help your voice.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that'll soothe your throat.
It'll do a lot of things for you, won't it?
Right.
Little doggy said Patrick's evil on Mario Kart ruined me. I am evil on that.
Yeah, dude, they were going off on that for a minute. I was like, what is?
Laura and I are real sick about that. We quit. We had to stop playing. They just nobody can play us. We're just too dominant. I'll be honest with you. Everybody wanted to. We took challengers for like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Everybody come in. They play 2 games, two rounds of driving, and go, well, I didn't ever play it on this one. I played it. Yeah. Okay.
What system?
Well, on the Wii.
Oh, was that
with the wheels and
Yeah.
the legit
Mario
setup.
Kart?
Yeah,
You still have it?
and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to roll?
I'm willing to
Do you
step
wanna
up to the
roll?
challenge, man.
Are you?
I am.
Yeah.
I think I got this.
I don't think you do, son.
Oh, yeah.
But I'd love to. Yeah, all right.
Let's set it up.
may
Bring it in here. Yeah, man.
We may bring it in here and stream that shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, let's work that out.
Let's do it.
Matter of fact, I wonder if somebody out there has you know what I'd love to do it on is the new one from the Wii U or the newest Wii. I think it's Mario Kart 8, they call it.
Yeah.
Or we could do the new one.
Okay.
That'd
See
be
if
awesome.
if somebody has the new Mario Kart.
Yeah, if you've got that
Let us know.
and you'd be willing to come up here and hook your system up just while we stream it, let me know.
Yeah.
Because we'll take that on during the show. I don't
Whoever
give a
loses
damn.
has to take a wheel of pain.
Whatever you want to do.
There you go.
Whatever you want to do on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I feel very good.
Remember, man,
I
last time you bet against me,
Yeah, no,
didn't turn out well for you.
I remember that. I remember it well, my friend. Okay, let's see. Chad Shin's in the house. What's up, man? Good morning to you.
Little doggy said y'all gave him a controller that only turned right.
I kind of remember that, actually. That's kind of funny because it probably did seem that way. Yeah, no, that's hilarious, actually. All right, let's do a couple spots, and we're going to be right back, okay? If you're looking for a vehicle, you know where to go. Fitz Auto is the place to go. Now, you can go online at fitzauto.com, or you can go in person, 8421 Stagecoach Road in Little Rock. What makes them different? What makes them special? Well, they work with you regardless of your credit history because they're their own bank. They don't have to ask anybody else. It's up to them who they work with. And they have late model, low mileage vehicles. They're going to save you money. They're going to put you in something you can be proud of. And it doesn't matter, sports car, truck, SUV, boat, RV, camper, amphibious units. They've got motorcycles, anything you could possibly want on wheels and an engine. They've got it there for you. Check them out, fitzauto.com. Start there, in there. It's where you're going to go because it's the best deal. You know, a lot of times you might not hear cool and attorney in the same line, but when I'm talking about Riggin Law, you will, because Kristen Riggin and her crew are just cool people. Going to an attorney can be intimidating. and you feel like you're being talked down to. They're talking in legalese, and it's scary. Not with Kristen. She's going to break it down to you just like I would, sit there and talk to you, kind of work it out and figure it out in the fair and right way. Doesn't matter if it's divorce or custody or if it's elder law. They do a lot of stuff to help out with court situations where you may have a family member who's died and you've got something going into probate. Man, you don't want to argue with your siblings over that. Don't put yourself in that position. That's what Riggin Law does. They'll help you work through the probate and all of that. If you've got a custody issue, even a criminal issue, it doesn't matter. Kristen can help you. And man, they are an amazing group of people. You can give them a call, 249-1289. It's 249-1289. Or just go to rigginlaw.com and tell Kristen we sent you.
The big game is on tonight. I got it in some parlays. The 75-inch is shining bright. Got a blizzy in the ashtray. Getting snacks, about to finish. I hear him start the anthem. Gotta hurry, I can't miss this. But then here comes my tantrum. Who the fuck ate my Doritos? Just day before I got the big bag. Nothing here but Tostitos. We got ourselves a real scumbag. I don't know if it was my wife or my daughter or my son. How can this even be my life? What the hell have I done? Well, I don't give a damn who done it. They're gonna catch a fresh one. Somebody better haul ass and run it and go give me a new one. Who the fuck ate my Doritos? Just day before I got the big bag. Nothing here but Tostitos. We got ourselves a real scumbag. Not a damn person in the place. By God, it's only me. Just wanna put the smack on one face. But who knows, maybe three. I'll have to go Tostitos and ranch. Game's already started. I swear to God I'll never answer when they ask who farted. Oh, who the fuck ate my Doritos? Just day before I got the big bag. Nothing here but Tostitos. We got ourselves a real scumbag.
Oh, yeah.
The Doritos song, man, it's always a hit.
Always
Yeah.
a hit. I got a new one for us today, too.
Comments say Cool Ranch or Sweet Heat. Sweet Heat.
Oh, yeah, that's Sweet Heat, man.
Chad
That's
said
the
he
way to go,
wants a song for his channel.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
I can help him out with that, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, man. Get with me on that, Chad. I'll be glad to help you out with something for your channel. That's no problem at all.
I had a little news story for you. I didn't know
Oh,
if you
yeah?
wanted me to bring it up.
No, this is a great time to bring
Yeah.
it up. What do you got?
So I was just scrolling through this morning, and apparently, Hot Springs, there was a massage parlor that's under investigation for prostitution and human trafficking. Said they raided it yesterday, seized over $22,000, along with money from Turkey, Thailand, and Colombia, and about 100 unused condoms.
Unused even.
I mean, yeah. It's,
Oh, I guess
apparently it's
They
inventory.
had the
you
big
know, it's
bowl.
Evidence,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they had the big bowl. Grab one, take one.
But yeah, it says an investigation following. I'm sorry. I guess this was back a little while ago. They're just reporting.
No, but it's
But anyways, May 22nd.
They had happy endings and then some going on.
And then
but-
something going
but
on, yeah.
apparently these were one of them. If I remember, said that she had been brought here under false pretenses.
Yeah, it said that they had. So they didn't like make any arrests or anything, but they did.
They didn't make any arrests.
Yeah, no.
Really?
Yeah, it said yeah. While no arrests have been made at this time, officials confirmed that suspects have been identified. They did get 3 victims. 3 victims were provided services. 1 victim shared that she came to U.S. from Mexico after responding to an online ad in China for work, not of a sexual nature.
Right. Well, and that isn't uncommon. They'll use these ads to lure people in, and they come here and they probably A, don't speak the language right off the bat.
Right.
Often. And then B, they don't have any money or a place to live, and C, they may be here legally or not.
Yeah.
So all these things are working against them more than likely, and then you've got a predator waiting to take advantage of them as soon as they get here, and that's terrible.
That is terrible. But
I mean, it really is.
crazy to think that it's happening
yeah,
just
but,
right in our backyard. Practically.
It is.
I mean,
But now I know they had one up recently. Well, I say recently, in the past few years in West Little Rock that they also did. As well. I've never stumbled across these massage parlors. There's never been anybody go, hey, would you like something more? You know what I mean? I never get that. I get, just pay as you.
right, just go ahead and leave.
Yeah, go ahead. And when you get dressed, you can come out here and pay. Okay, thanks, Bill.
It's weird, though, to me that it says she was from Mexico, but she was responding to an online ad in China.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just poorly written or what the ad that originated in China.
Yeah,
maybe it's a Chinese company advertising, saying, "Hey, we have needs," or it seemed to be that. You know what I'm saying? We were just talking about we were leaving the Wise Guys the other night.
Yeah,
and saw the centerfold was still open, and like, that place has been there forever. It hasn't changed names, and I've never been in it. But everybody has always told me, and tell me if I'm incorrect because you're a longtime resident or were there.
Yeah.
Which is that they get buck naked there.
Oh yeah.
They don't have any clothes on.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's at both of them there, but I don't know.
It's not in Little Rock.
Okay.
You can't do that in Little Rock.
Oh, gotcha.
No, you cannot do that in Little Rock.
Yeah.
You can have your top out, but you can't have the bottom out. You know what I mean? But in Hot Springs, they have that loophole law or that, cutout for them, I guess, from back in the mob days.
Maybe, yeah. Probably, yeah.
I don't know. Do you want them to be that naked?
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Okay.
He
said yeah.
Yeah.
Very matter of fact.
You do.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, no, I definitely do.
I want my full money's worth.
It doesn't often happen there. I can tell you that, and I'm not sure that is I don't know that anyone ever walked out of a strip club and went, you know what? I just got my money's worth. I don't think that's ever happened.
Yeah. No.
I just got my money's worth. No, you didn't. Not unless you're Usher. And even then, you probably didn't. You probably threw out way more money.
But I mean, if I'm paying to see you, naked, I want to see you.
Saying. Yeah. No, I understand. I want to talk about this, and this is one of those things that you got to look. I've been saying this for a long time, and there used to be people who go, man, that's crazy. It's never going to happen. But have you ever seen the movie Minority Report with Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you remember, but in that movie, the vehicles, they had vehicles, but they weren't their own. They were just vehicles that transported them. It's like public transport, but they were all operated on a public transport system.
Like some network or something. I got you.
So you didn't own your own vehicle and you didn't drive yourself anywhere. It wasn't legal.
Got you. Okay.
And I've said for a long time, I said, that's exactly where they want us to be. Because meat sacks can't be trusted to make good decisions.
Right.
The computers are better, right? And a lot of people say, man, you're crazy. That's never going to happen. Here we go.
Guess what?
Washington State has just taken a step forward from now on. It will require drivers to install a device that limits the speed of cars according to the legal speed limit of the zone they're in. So they have this technology, it's called the Beam Act, but they have this technology that determines, through GPS what the speed limit is there, and it won't let you exceed it.
Gotcha. So like a governor on your car.
Yeah, no, it's
that's exactly what it
is.
is.
It locks it down where you can't go any faster than that.
Right.
They said the reason is there's been a huge number of accidents in Washington, and so that's why they have a very high rate of accidents there.
Right.
And they said that it was the families who pushed for the law because they were the ones who shared their stories again and again. And despite carrying that pain forever in their lives, they don't want anyone else to go through it. I assume they mean because someone was speeding and somebody wrecked and died as a result of that. Now, I don't know. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? Would you have a problem with this?
I don't know that I necessarily would, no.
No?
I mean, number one, most semi-truck companies have some type of governor on their
A
truck.
lot of them do.
Where they don't allow them to go over a certain
That
speed.
is true.
Why? Because a 10,000, 30,000 pound semi-truck is,
Yeah, no, you're carrying a massive amount of weight that can do a lot of damage very quickly.
Right. So, and obviously we don't have a problem with that, so why not? Why not have it on cars?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't like it because, A, if I'm running late, I may need to exceed that limit. And B, I don't like I don't like that.
So what you're saying is,
yes, I need to be able to violate the law.
is because of your mistake,
Yes, that is correct.
it is worth putting my life in danger.
Well, that would assume that your life is in danger, that I'm a bad driver and make bad decisions.
I mean, you already were late. You
Yeah,
didn't decide to be ready on time.
In theory, this is
I'm just saying.
You don't know me to be late very often.
No, I don't. No.
That's not my stuff because I don't drive slow. I'm always on time because I don't drive slow, man.
I've also seen your driving at 5 o'clock in the morning when I'm the only car on the road, and all of a sudden, shit, what was that? Oh,
Yeah,
it
that was
Patrick.
me.
Yeah.
I'm on the way. I told you, I'm not messing around. I'm trying to get to work, man.
I don't have a problem.
I guess I wouldn't mind if you had it maybe set at a certain number. I don't know. Just let's say for shits and giggles, 95.
Yeah.
You can't exceed 95 miles an hour.
Right.
Okay. Here's why I say this because, what if you do have to accelerate quickly for a reason to avoid something or whatever, or, you're rushing your child to the hospital, not that you should be driving 120 or 30 if you're taking a kid to the hospital.
Right. But
you
I get your point.
You may want to go faster.
There are situations where a higher rate of speed
it
is
could
called
potentially be a life-saving, situation. And so I'm concerned now, their argument would probably be, well, if you weigh what you would lose there versus what we're losing now, we're losing a lot more now.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not big on restricting freedoms in a lot of cases.
I mean, I get that, and that's, Chad in comments said the same thing. He said they're taking the choice away. That's not freedom. And
Well, but,
I mean,
I understand. Look, from a legal perspective, prevent yourself from being your own worst enemy, and they do that. You're not going to get a speeding ticket. Your insurance rates will be lower.
I was just wondering that. I wonder how it would affect
variables. Over the long term, it would certainly. If everybody is on that plan where you can't do that, then that's going to dramatically reduce accidents, which would dramatically reduce the cost overall of the insurance.
Right.
Not that they're not fleecing you to begin with, but so I do see the benefits in it. I just don't like it.
I get it.
But it's different now, because when we've talked about this before. I couldn't wait to get my driver's license so I could get the hell away from my house.
Right. Same.
Now kids are like, I'll get my license whenever.
Yeah.
It's different. They don't have that sense of urgency to get the hell out and get independent. So they may not mind this as much as maybe some of the old heads. Some of the folks who, where that car represented freedom.
Right.
That car represented my identity. That
Right,
car
that
represented
was-
my ability to elevate myself out of what I felt like I was in.
I got you.
So that was a very symbolic. It was much more than a car to me.
Right.
It
was a milestone.
It was a milestone. It was a means to better myself, to
Right.
escape
Right.
things that were not good. And so for me, it represented much more than I think maybe it does to a lot of people today.
Well, I think, and I agree with that. I mean, I remember when I got my driver's license, like, it's just that for us, when you were that teenager, it was kind of the first step into, I'm an adult now.
That's
Like, I have a
exactly
car,
right.
I get gas, I go drive myself to my job.
I can
like-
pick up a girl. And
Right,
take her on a date,
right. We can go to the movies with the friends
which
or
is
the
what
arcade.
we
Or,
really wanted
right?
to do, right? We wanted to either impress the girl, take the girl on a date, and
Yep.
ultimately, having the dope car
Right.
was to get the dope chick.
Right,
I mean,
right.
right?
That was the goal.
That's the bait.
Yep.
If he's got a nice car, he
He's
must
got-
be put together.
Right.
Must be a cool guy, right?
Had to have the loudest system. I don't know if that was, speakers and all that were popular when
Hell
you were,
yeah.
okay. All right.
Hell yeah.
Everybody had, whoever could have the loudest system, yeah.
Yeah, we in my era, stereos were not as good in many ways, so we would have equalizers, and
In the car?
In the car,
Nice.
Yeah, and so you got 20 buttons there. You don't even know what they are really doing. You just move them around in
Right.
a certain way until you find what you like. But
Man, I guess we, you want to put a pause in it for a second?
yeah. Well, you know what? Let's do this. I put this together yesterday. I don't know if you've ever. Well, I'm sure a lot of you have been to a club. You know what a rave is, right?
No, what's that?
Yeah, what's that, Daddy? But when you go to those kind of events, sometimes you get. They say you get down. You have a little party. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I was thinking, man, I got an interesting song I wanted to write. I just thought it would be fun, like a club type. You'll get it.
In your pocket. In your pocket. In your pocket. Stitch and studded pocket. Pocket. Designer jeans. Hug hip grip. Clean so clean. You a thick stick. What's in your pocket? What is it really? Are we about to rock it? Got that Uncle Baby Billy. Got that uncle. Got that uncle. Got that uncle baby. Got that uncle baby. Got that Uncle Baby Billy. Go on now, nerd. Feel it in you. Go on now, nerd. Go on now. Now. Break down. Bass sounds. Body to body playground. Break down. Bass sounds. Body to body playground. Break down. Bass sounds. Body. What's in your pocket? What is it really? Are we about to rock it? Got that Uncle Baby Billy. Spin it up. Drop it down. Hear the colors. Smell the sound. Smell the sound. Smell. Can you smell the sound? Drop it on down. The smell of Rojo. Can you feel it burning? Activated my mojo. Can you taste the yearning? Taste the glow. Pop the little top, lay it on a reflection, like in a barber shop, but lie in a different direction. Billy.
There you go. Yeah,
That was,
that's a little like a throwback to like they'll pump up the volume.
Yeah, man, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
one of those club bangers.
Yeah.
I just took Uncle Baby Billy and made it the code name for Molly. So it'd be funny, you know, if you've ever seen The Righteous Gemstones, that last line, that's a line from Uncle Baby Billy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen The Righteous Gemstones, man, you're missing out. Please go watch that. That shit is so damn funny. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, it's just an A-list cast. It's Adam Devine. It's Danny McBride. It's who else is in it? Walton Goggins, who's, you know, the biggest star on the planet, arguably today, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody loves that guy all of a sudden.
I feel like I haven't watched TV in like forever, man.
Yeah, I can understand. I mean, you know.
I was just sitting here going, what was the last thing that I watched good?
Yeah.
And I don't even remember, like, I know yesterday I turned it on and scrolled through the TV guide, and then I was like, all right, it's bedtime.
Sometimes it's like that. Yeah, no. Sometimes it is like that where you're just like, nah, I don't even want to screw with it.
Yeah, I'm just, whatever.
no,
It's just noise.
Yeah. This is a weird thing. I don't know if I believe this or don't believe this, but obviously there are well-known hazards of exchanging mouth fluids, right? You could get colds, you could get mono, you could get cold sores, you know, but new research suggests that if you kiss someone with depression and anxiety, it could lead to you getting it too.
Oh, come on.
Now, here's what it says. A new study finds that when one person has these conditions, they can transmit it through kissing thanks to bacteria. So they tracked 268 couples with one spouse who struggled with depression, anxiety, and sleep issues, and one who didn't. They both filled out surveys about mental health, gave saliva samples to measure the stress and hormone cortisol, and oral bacteria swabs for DNA. After 6 months, they found that the healthy spouses showed signs of depression, anxiety, and sleep problems, but not as bad as their partners. The oral bacteria changed, and the microbiome started to match each other in surprising ways. So it's the cortisol, which is a stress hormone,
Okay.
that anxiety and depression trigger, and high levels of cortisol mess. You know, I'm with you. I don't buy this. Let me tell you what I think.
This brings a whole new meaning to like the saying, you know, oh, my ex gave me PTSD or something.
This is what you call a yes, maybe. It's not. I don't believe that. So here's your key line, okay? Your key line in this is scientists tracked 268 newlywed couples.
Right.
Okay, so a newlywed means we're probably, even if we lived together, maybe it wasn't that long, maybe we've never lived together, but you're moving everything together.
Right.
Okay, so
Right.
268 newlywed couples with one spouse who struggles with depression, anxiety, and sleep issues. Okay, so if one spouse has sleep issues, guess what that's going to do over a period of about 6 months?
Keep the other one away.
Going to cause you to have sleep issues.
Yeah.
When you have sleep issues, what do you think that's going to cause you?
Depression, anxiety. Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, it's not about the mouth swap fluid. It's about the restless leg kicking, snoring
Right.
next to you.
For real.
It's keeping you awake all night. And now you got to go to work and deal with that, and then come home with those 3 brats you got. Get them to ball practice. Yeah, that's what causes that. Life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called life, man. That's not a kiss that did that. No, you chose a person with anxiety and depression and married them.
In all fairness, it probably all started with a kiss.
Well, that may be true.
I mean, that's where the study, you know.
It all begins there somehow, doesn't it? In most cases, that is correct.
No, but man, I mean, come on, seriously. Like, as soon as you said that, I was like, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, you end up, I mean, at some point when you're with somebody, and again, I've been married twice.
Okay.
Like you adopt some of the habits of the other person. Right. Man, I got to get my numbers up.
Anyway, what were you saying next?
I was just saying, it's inevitable when you're with someone, you're going to adopt some of their habits, or their habits are going to,
Absolutely.
disrupt your pattern. You'll adjust yourself to whatever their habits are.
There's no doubt as you become a couple that some different things happen. Number one, over a period of time, you develop your own lexicon.
Right.
You know, you have your own language, shorthand, so to speak.
Right.
that you can speak to each other and immediately know what the other means that nobody else understands.
Right.
So that's number one. You're going to develop a language or a lexicon that is for only the couple.
Right.
You know. Number two is you're going to start picking up traits and some maybe habits even from the other person.
Right.
You know, so it just happens. You know, just like the language does, you'll start saying phrases, you catch yourself saying it and be like,
Wait,
oh, shit, wait a minute.
Right.
You know, that's going to happen. Oftentimes, styles can start to come together.
Yeah.
And you see people start to dress a certain way similarly and, you know, wear the same type of glasses or, you know, you see people all the time say couples start to look together the longer they've been together.
Right. They look alike.
You know,
Yeah.
So
Yep.
all these things happen, you know, when you become a couple.
Yeah.
You know, as a matter of fact, it's harder to not do that than it is to do that. You know, trying to be independent is the harder part of it when you're in a couple, you know, keeping your own identity.
So it only makes sense then that you would, you know, get some of the same mental issues or have your, yeah.
Hey, look, if you're around someone who has a pervasive issue of some kind and it's in your life every day, then there's spillover from that.
Right. You're
Without
going to
a
be.
doubt, either in response to it or because you're joining it.
Right.
It's one or the other.
Yeah.
You know, either you're rebelling or you're joining. Just like when your parents, either you said, I'm going to be just like my dad or I'm going to be nothing like my dad.
Right.
And so then you go off spinning into the world, either trying to meet the trajectory or oppose the trajectory.
Right.
You know, so, and it's the same with couples. You begin to, you know, bring things together and so a lot of that happens.
Yeah.
But sometimes it is the depression and anxiety, you know, sometimes that does happen. And
I just can't
it's
wait to
tough.
heir the person, you know, go up and be like, hey, what you got? You want to kiss? I'll take your bipolar and give you
Yeah,
some,
yeah,
depression and
that's right.
anxiety
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah, let's just bump bellies while we do it.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
You know, we'll just bounce fuzzies and, you know, whatever we got, right?
Next time I go for that first kiss, I'm gonna be like, you want some ADHD in your life?
Yeah, you need a little. You've been thinking about an Adderall prescription, baby? You know, I can
And get you hooked up.
help you out. Yeah, I got a doc for you. Let's see what you think about this. This is, I think, is one of the great things with technology today. There's so many things that, you know, 20, 30 years ago, you'd be like, no way, man.
Right.
But KB Home, they're one of the nation's largest builders. They recently launched a new neighborhood in Escondido, California, made entirely of wildfire-resistant homes. It's a 64-home community designed using guidance from the Insurance Institute for better business and home safety. Wow. But it incorporated Class A fire-rated roofs, ember and flame-resistant vents, and a 5-foot buffer around each structure. Now, here's the catch. It's $1 million is what they start at. Yeah. It aims to offer peace of mind in a region increasingly affected by wildfires. Yeah, for $1 million, it better offer me a lot more than peace of mind.
Right.
Better have every amenity on the damn planet. But I do think it's great that they are looking at making homes. I mean, if you have a lot of wildfires, why not build homes resistant to
Right.
wildfires? Doesn't that make sense?
Right.
You know, I don't even understand how these people allow all the growth. If you know you're in a wildfire area, why haven't you cut everything back in a buffer around your house already?
Well,
You know, I guess people just don't think about it, but it's like, man, it happens a lot in California.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they have a lot of wildfires there. So, I think the technology is amazing. Have you ever had a house fire?
Years ago, years
Yeah.
ago, like when I was younger. It was rough, I guess. It wasn't like we didn't lose everything, but it started in the kitchen. And so the kitchen was pretty torched and
Yeah.
but I mean it was, they were able to rescue it. We had a disaster crew come in and clean it up. So
Well, that's exactly what happened to me when I was probably, 13, 14.
that was about the same age for me, yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, the kitchen caught fire, and it didn't burn the whole house, but it smoked
Yeah.
everything out, ruined most everything in the house. You know, so my dad owned a home improvement company at the time. Go figure that one out. And he was able to make the improvements, and my mom got that kitchen she always wanted. You know, I look back at it now and I think to myself, maybe, Dad was like, yeah, you want a kitchen? We can get a kitchen.
Right.
Let me just leave this pan on the stove here, and that ought to about do it. We'll leave there and go somewhere else. And
Let's
then
go
they'll
for a
call
little
us.
ride. And,
Yeah, no, and that's what happened. We got a call that the house was on fire, which was a trip, man. I mean, that was a trip. Then we had to, move into some apartments for a few months, which was terrible while we were waiting on the house to be done. Oh, my God, it was the worst. It was bad enough being, in the
Was it
house
just
we
the
had.
space, like
Yes.
the limit on? Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Everybody on top
definitely
of each
space.
other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was definitely that. It was very violating at that age. Like, listen, do you know what 13, 14-year-old boys are doing? I need more room, not less. I need more bathrooms, not less. You know what I mean? I need space here. I got things going.
Yeah, right.
Body parts are working here, and I'm trying to get through this, This is cramping me up real bad. I'm starting to get backed up around here. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to dining out, apparently there are some unwritten rules of etiquette between servers and customers that apparently are important to know.
Oh.
Yeah. So what is this? Why did I choose this? What customers should never do when dining out. That's the headline of this. So I guess here are
Eat
some
a whole
things.
plate of food and then send it back and say, I didn't like it.
Right.
Yeah.
What does it say here? It says an LA-based restaurant consultant said the rudest thing a customer can do is one-timing a server. That's when a customer asks for something like a glass of water, for example, but when the server returns, the customer then asks for something else. You're just running them in circles to bulk up on your order, let them know right at the same time. Well, look.
I mean, sometimes I want to.
Maybe you needed a minute.
Right.
You said, I'd like to have some water. Then you talk about what you're going to get, and you order when they get back.
Right.
I don't think they're wasting your time at all. I think they're buying time in order to look at the menu a little longer, because if I go to a restaurant, my wife keeps talking, and then we don't look, and then they come back, and they're like, give us another minute.
Yeah.
And I got to go, honey,
We need to order, yeah.
Look at the menu. What do you want to put? We got to help this person out. They got other people, And when you're in a hurry and you need to place your order quickly, there's a polite way to ask your server to put your food order in right away. Who doesn't know that? I mean, it doesn't have to be in detail, but you can just tell them I'm in a bit of a hurry. Yeah, that's fine. Who's walking up in there going, bitch, I need it now.
Right.
Bitch, make this and get it right. That's the way you get spit in your food. Go ahead. Yeah, say that. You're going to get a hot cream.
Right.
Yeah. Snapping your fingers at the server might work in the movies, but in real life, it comes off as rude. You're damn right it does.
Yeah, I would never.
I wish you would snap it.
Yeah.
I wish you would.
Be sure to get you the most almost spoiled, nasty food. Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm going to have a big smile on my face. You ever seen the movie Waiting?
Yeah. Yep.
Take a look at that. You want to know what it's really like? Take a look at that movie, and then you'll know. Don't act like an a-hole to your server.
Have some extra free alfalfa sprouts on here.
I do find it odd sometimes that I just learned, who was it that doesn't? That people with autism often aren't good tippers.
Oh.
I like to tip. Now, I
wonder why
this is something I was just recently informed of, but, Tyler, he's a barber now, but he still does work as a server to make extra money.
Yeah.
And he talks about, every night we kind of talk about the tips and the things like that. And it's always amazing when, people still throw down a 5 spot like that means something anymore. Really, thanks, Papa, the 5 spot. You
Right.
Abe Lincoln? Man, you're a generous guy, man. Shit, you didn't have any ones? Can you give me $3.50? It's like, man.
Hey, it was like when we were kids and your grandparents would be like, here's a quarter for getting an A. And you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, my grandma would always send me $10.
Yeah.
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 No, and it was great. I appreciated it, but it's like, no, thanks, Grandma.
Right.
Won't buy anything with this. I'll put it with something else and save up. Let's see. A common concern among customers.
What is a good, sorry to interrupt
No,
you,
you're
but what is a good, throw down spot? What, a 20? just into that situation where a tip isn't expected, but
Well,
like,
where is a tip not expected?
well, I don't know.
I mean,
That's a
now
good
look,
question.
I do feel cornered up if I pick up food. Sometimes I think, well, should I tip? And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm just driving through.
Yeah, why?
Why would I tip
Right.
when I'm just driving through? But they sure want you to tip them.
Oh, well, of
They're
course.
going to put that out there, But
Yeah, they do it right on that little screen.
Yeah,
like,
I
oh,
don't
by the
tip
way.
on drive-through service.
No.
You know what I mean? But if otherwise, then the standard number is 15%. That's the minimum one. 10% if you thought your service was average and not very good.
Right.
15% is normal. Normally, I'm going to go 20%.
Okay.
Now, some people are now pushing for 25, 30%. And I'm like, listen, you're pushing your luck.
No, but I understand that. But like you said, what do you not tip for? Like, okay, we tip tip your waiters, servers, bartenders.
Right. What do I
Your
not
Uber
do?
driver?
I
Would you tip your Uber driver?
No. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I guess if in the moment I felt like they had done something over and above, but I know they're being paid already. They're earning Uber money.
Right. I got you. But I mean, it may not be much.
A wait staff is different because, they're still on that old school. And I don't know why.
Here's
they
a
still
good
do
one.
this, $2 an hour.
DoorDash.
Yeah.
Because this is an argument I hear all the
I
time.
always tip DoorDash.
Do you?
Yes.
How's that different than your Uber driver?
I don't really have an answer for you.
Right.
But I don't use an Uber driver.
Okay.
I mean, I've done it
Maybe
zero
twice.
times.
Right.
0 times in my
Okay.
life. I've used an Uber.
Gotcha. So taxi, I mean,
Only in a foreign country.
okay.
I've never been in a taxi stateside. I've never had an Uber. I just never have.
Right.
So I can't speak to it as well. But if you bring me food to my house,
Yeah.
I'm going to tip you.
Yeah.
It's that simple. If you're driving to my house, you get a tip.
Okay.
So that's just the way I see it. Now, how big a tip? I don't know. I mean,
Well, that's
no
what.
more
Yeah,
than-
because
no more
like,
than, between 10 and 20%.
like it wasn't until a few years ago when I used to actually get haircuts that I was like, oh, you're supposed to tip your like I didn't know you were supposed to tip you for cutting my hair. I thought $20 to cut my hair covered it.
I thought that for a little while too, until somebody told me, and I went, "Oh shit, I've been jipping people."
Yeah, like I didn't know.
Like they got a case of the red ass when I left. Like nobody wants me as the client.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know, but yeah, once I figured out, yeah, you definitely. That's a good point though. Tipping your barber.
Yeah.
Or your hairstylist, whomever. Yeah, because they share whatever they're making, they share it with the booth.
Gotcha. Okay.
The company or the shop,
Okay.
So a lot, yes, that it's customary to tip them, and
Interesting.
I do.
Well, because it's like you were talking, a minute ago and said like someone threw him a 5 spot, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking in terms of like, if it's something that you don't normally get a tip, I mean, $5 is, $5
If you go
bucks.
sit down in a restaurant and you get served and waited on,
Yeah, definitely.
then you should probably tip at least 15%.
Oh, yeah.
If your service was respectable.
Right.
You can do more, you can do a little less, but if you're not, you're kind of being an a-hole.
Right.
Like order less and make sure you have the right tip.
Right,
Don't be
right.
like, well, that's all I could afford. Well, then eat less, eat something cheaper, and tip your guy right.
Right.
Don't take advantage of them because
No, I mean, and I absolutely agree. Like waiters and servers, anything in the food industry,
Yeah,
and
I mean
serving.
they just
like-
work hard. It is hard work, whether people think it is or not. I mean, it is hard.
and they already don't make anything really hourly.
No,
wage-wise,
$2
so-
an hour is
Yeah,
not anything really to brag about. It's not good dough.
but
Now, if you work hard and you get tips, though, you can make great money.
yeah.
You can make very good money. Some servers make real good money.
I mean, back when I did cab driving, like tips were kind of a normal expected thing as
sure.
as your driver.
But now, did you always get tips?
No. And a lot of times, like, it would tick me off because we would, like, I always tried to be nice and like you say, go that little extra mile or whatever. But, we'd have somebody go to Walmart who maybe, older, senior citizen or whatever, and get their groceries. And, it's 100 degrees outside in the summer.
Right.
I'm loading their groceries up while they're chilling in the nice air-conditioned taxi. and unloading the groceries at their house. And then, I go, okay, it's, $10 for the ride. And they hand me $10. And I'm like, you piece of.
No, I get that completely. I'll tell you one that always puzzles me is like if you went to, and I don't go there very often. Matter of fact, I've been there once in the past 5 years, but like Golden Corral.
Yeah.
If you go there, right, you get your tray. You
Right.
walk there, you get
Yeah,
all
I
the
wouldn't
food,
tip there.
right? You go sit down, but they do bring you drink.
I mean,
You get a drink at first, but then they refill it for you.
right.
They'll come and refill it. And I know they're working for a tip, but I'm like,
I can't get there.
you just did my drink. I got my own food.
Right.
I carried my own tray. I'm going to go back up in a minute.
And get another.
Get some more food. You know what I mean? And you're not going to get that for me. It's not like you're like, hey, did you want me to go fill your plate up with some shit?
Right. Yeah.
Here's a list. Go get this stuff.
Right. Yeah. Then I would tip.
Then
but
I'll
yeah.
tip. But just because you're going to keep my tea flowing,
Yeah.
that's all you're doing.
That I know, dude. I agree with you.
Doris, that's all you're doing. You know what I mean?
Like they could just put the machine out here, and I could fill it up myself, walking back to the table. One hand with the plate, one hand with the cup.
Yeah, no, that is true. That is also true. Yeah. Pizza Hut trusts me to do it.
Right.
Why can't you, Golden
CC's?
Corral?
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, just let me fill my own drink and cut the crap. You don't need them. You need people to bust tables, but you don't need a waiter at Golden Corral. You're your own waiter.
You're right.
But now I have this awkward thing where I feel like
I have
Doris
to tip you.
has been about 3 times to be nice and pour some tea for me that I didn't really need, but she was there.
Right.
And now I'm like, God,
I
I
gotta
got to
throw her
tip
a dollar.
Doris.
Right.
Yeah, I got to tip Doris. And then I got to look.
Doris hurt you when you were younger.
You got to look at my ticket and go, man, is Doris really worth that much? Because Doris, you're pushing it.
Tell us about you and this newfound obsession with Doris, man.
Well, that's just for the moment.
Okay.
I leaned into Doris.
I was hard.
Yeah, I never even met a Doris in my life. Sometimes we were talking about names that sound.
Brandon said, "Do you tip escorts?"
Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
sure.
kind of?
I've never had the opportunity, but I probably would. I think of all positions, if you were going to earn a tip, that's the best possibility to earn one.
Isn't that part of the whole deal? Is that you're
That is,
getting at least
I
a
think
tip?
so. You have a base rate
Yeah.
and a la carte, and then if you provide that well, then I would think tips are in order. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't you? I hope you tip. I don't know. I've never. I probably have met a hooker or prostitute, whatever you want to call it. I probably have met one, but didn't know it.
Yeah.
But I've never in my life actually met
Paid for
someone
the act or
Well, I've
anything,
certainly not done that. But I know I paid for it. Ask my divorce lawyers about that. No, I paid for that shit. Trust me, I'd have rather paid the other way. I got a lot more out of it, but no. I paid.
You always pay one way or the other. Yeah.
But no, I never met someone who said, "Yeah, no, I can do this for this," and I'm glad that I had. What is it? What do you got here? Come on, man. What are they doing over here? I know you're laughing at the comment. What's that? What?
Chad said never needed escorts or DoorDash, and then Brandon said not when you use your hand, and then Tactical Turkey said Brandon's just salty today. Found out his hand was cheating on him with another man. There.
It's a bro. Never mind. Just for your bro. You know what I mean? It's just a bro thing to do, right? I'm just helping a brother out when he's down. I see you got depression and anxiety.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to help you out with
Shouldn't have
something.
kissed that one chick, yeah.
No, it's this is what?
Latasha just came in and said she used to make really good money when she worked tip-based jobs.
Yeah, no, and I that's good. A lot of people do if you're good at it, and it doesn't hurt. As Brandon said earlier, what pretty privilege. I don't. I understand that more attractive people get better things or whatever, but I'm not really. But yeah, if you're cute though, yeah, you're gonna probably get more.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. I'm not going to not agree with you. That is a fact of life. But also, like, you're getting more, and whatever you want to take it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because I'm tipping a little more to kind of try and impress you a little bit. you know.
Maybe, yeah. But also, too, if you look at tall privilege, I hate the word privilege, by the way. I just want you to know, I hate everything about it. I'm only using it in context. But, you know, if you look at the history of presidents, there aren't any short ones.
Yeah?
No, most all presidents are
tall?
Are yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tall guys, by proportion, are much more successful. It's the truth.
What is considered tall, though?
Over 6 foot?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you're 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2",
You're considered, yeah.
that's pretty tall. And once you get to the 6'3" mark, then you're tall.
Gotcha.
You get to 6'6", 6'7", then it's like,
And then it's
oh
like you're a
my
giant.
God. You are, yes, you are a very big person.
Interesting.
Yeah. See, I'm only about 5'10", 5'10 and a half.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah. What?
Well, because I'm 5'11".
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, you seem shorter
Well, no. I'm
in
not.
person.
Yeah. Well,
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Have you measured? I think
yeah.
What are you wearing, lifts?
No. Just regular
Not
tennis shoes, man.
buying it, man. I don't think it's true.
That's why I'm just a little bit more successful.
Just, no, they definitely more successful. They, by all means, I agree. I agree with that 100%, man. This show's out of control. We got to do some kind of sponsor work here. So.
Something.
Yeah, no, we have to, for real. So we'll do this, and we'll be right back. Josh Taylor over at First Horizon just did it again. I just had another first-time home buyer, a couple who got into a home. Literally, they paid $500 to get into this home. That's right, $500 total dollars is what they paid to get into their new home. Why? Because First Horizon Bank has grant money that they offer, whether it's income-based, you're a professional, or a first responder. They have grant money for all of that, and it can help pay your down payment, your closing cost, and more. Josh is good people. He's just like you and I, and he can help you out. Look, you want to get into a house for $500? Yeah, Josh Taylor's the guy to call. 351-2579. It's 351-2579. Josh Taylor over at First Horizon Bank, and you tell him that Patrick sent you, all right? At Botanical Alchemy Nutraceuticals, they're a veteran-owned company, and they tailor CBD recipes specifically to you. Inflammation, if you need, anxiety relief, if you're trying to focus more, if you're trying to lose weight, they have a formula for you. And you know what? They'll tweak it a little bit here and there if you need to make it perfect for you. It's sublingual. You put it under your tongue, just a drop, and it's instantly effective and 80% absorbed by your body. The other CBD that you get, the gummies, the things like that, 20% absorption, not nearly what you want. And this is pharmaceutical grade. Go over to bantx.com. It's bantx.com and put in the promo code PATP25 to get 25% off. They don't just have CBD. They've got all kinds of products. They've got a lot of different hemp products. They even have CBD for your pets. Check them out. It's bantx.com, baby.
Darkness is coming, nightfall be here soon. On the verge of seeing my own tragic ruin. In the pitch black ink, monsters they do seek to prey on and torment those who are weak. I'm looking for you. I need you to reach down, pull me through. Can you? Could you? Would you? Can you pull me through? fierce, growing strong in the wild. It's time to come with me. Oh, my child, my child, my child, my sweet, sweet child. So many creatures looking to gnaw on my bones. I wish there were detours, but my monsters are all homegrown. No, my monsters are all homegrown. I'm looking for you. I need you to reach down, pull me through. Can you? Could you? Would you? Can you pull me through? The monsters are coming. Could you? Would you? Can you pull me through?
All right, we are back again. It's Patrick and the people, if you don't know. And hey, be sure and check out our YouTube channel. Go over there and, as they say, smash that like button.
A lot of people have been asking for like kind of an update on numbers and things, and so
What kind of numbers are we
just
talking
where
about?
we're at on subscribers, kind of where we're trying to be, you know.
That's a great question, man. I mean, I don't know the actual across the board because we have so many. We have to aggregate the numbers, but I can tell you this: we're averaging 1,500 a day or better on our podcast streams.
Nice.
You know, so whether that's all in, that's streaming and watching after the fact or listening after the fact.
Right.
Now that's just the numbers we can track.
Okay.
You know, I don't have every number across the board from, like when we got that iTunes thing, that we were number 246, we were as surprised as anybody with that.
Right.
You know,
I gotcha.
because there are live, it goes over there.
Okay.
So to Spotify, Amazon, iHeart, iTunes, all that, you know, they pick it up as a secondary. So those people that watch it or listen to it there do so after it's done live.
Yeah.
But we have several hundred live. I mean, I don't know the number. Sometimes you can go, like, if you're on Facebook and it says 3 or 4, you're like, wait, is anybody even here? But,
Right.
you know,
But
you
there's
can go to YouTube, you can go to Odyssey, you can go to, we have a real healthy audience on Odyssey, on Clapper, on a lot of different Triller.
Right.
So there's a lot of places where we have audience size. So it's harder to quantify on any given moment.
in direct relation to YouTube, we're at 553 subscribers, so which is pretty good.
Yeah. That's not bad.
I think they moved our number though, so
and that's fine. That's fine. But I think if we look, we've got 165,000 listening hours on YouTube.
Okay.
I mean, that's pretty
good.
damn good for since October.
Absolutely.
So we're making a good noise out there.
We were talking about tipping and everything, and there was a comment that was made just before we went to break there.
Okay.
From Latasha, actually.
Okay.
And she said, Latasha. Anyways, said, pretty privilege is not all it's cracked up to be. I get a lot of unwanted advances. And I was kind of like, that's an interesting point because, like, part of me, I can understand that, but then the other part of me is like, oh, man, it just must suck to get hit on all the time.
As a guy, it does feel that way because we don't get
Right.
You know, it's a trope, but the fact of the matter is, normally, if you hit on a guy, he's going to look around first and go,
Me?
"Me? talking to me? Is that correct?
I'm glad to know I'm not the only one.
Yeah. No, because I mean, it's unexpected for us. When you're a female, probably from about the time you leave the house,
Yeah.
until you make it back, someone's, trying to mac on you. So I can see we're probably at a point that could be fatiguing, but it's kind of like when you become a celebrity and the paparazzi follow you.
Yeah.
You're a celebrity now.
Right.
That's what happens. You're a hottie now.
Right.
That is by,
you're in
that's
demand.
what's gonna happen now. Are there a-holes out there who don't handle that very well? Yeah. Yeah, no, there are guys out there. Listen, I can't imagine all the things that that girls hear. I
Right.
can't begin to imagine because lots of, and especially now more than ever. I mean, look, at least they used to in rap songs try to be clever with it.
Yeah.
Now they're just like, I'm eating ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know.
They just come right out and
Yeah, I got my bib on. You know what I mean? I got some body safe watercolors, and we're going to town. You know what I mean? And they're not even afraid to. There's nothing clever about it. It's just what rhymes with ass cake.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I can't imagine what they.
I mean, I can't
the
imagine
pressure
either,
that
but
they may be under at times.
it's just,
But I get it. For us, we're like, wah.
Right. Yeah.
I wish
Want me to call you
somebody
a
did-
ambulance?
I wish
Yeah.
somebody did want to bang me all the time. I wish somebody was trying to scheme to get me in bed all day
Right.
long. Like, how can I get that dude in my
I wish
bed?
somebody was paying me
No.
more just so they could think that they had a
Yeah.
chance with
I
me.
wish somebody would come up and go, can I buy you a drink? No, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And never in the history of time has anyone said, may I buy you a drink? Because that'd be like, what are you about to poison me? What the hell's going on?
You know,
what
I
I mean?
I actually can't say that.
No,
So,
you
no.
have someone bought you a drink?
Yeah, man, I have. It's of course been after announcing, but
Her name is Mildred.
no. I mean, just fans in
Oh
general.
no, I've had friends and fans
Yeah.
buy me a drink. I just mean I've never had a lady
Buy you a
come up to me
drink
and go,
and
hey there, handsome.
yeah.
Can I buy you a drink?
Oh, I got you. Okay, yeah.
Never.
Yeah. No, I can't
No,
think
no,
of a time I
I've
have.
never had a chick walk up and go, you know what I've been thinking about for about
Maybe
the last
Greta with
hour?"
her smoky voice.
Yeah,
yeah.
hey sugar. Let me tell you, I want to put a little
65
love
years
on
old.
it.
Yeah.
Put a little loving on it. Yeah, I smoke Newports. Don't worry about that. I'll tell you what else I smoke: sausage. Okay. Listen, Mildred, if you could back up off of me with the mothball smell and the Bengay, it's not working for me. Okay. Now I will admit that in my stand-up prime, when I was in my late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah.
At that time, I had more action than not. As far as I did have people approach me.
Yeah.
And were interested. But as you get older, that it doesn't happen as much anymore. You know what I mean? You start to realize, I
No, I don't know what you mean, Patrick.
No,
it doesn't happen that much now.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but back then, I did get, occasionally somebody would be like, "Oh yeah, man," you could tell they were interested.
Right.
But I've never had someone come up and go, "I've been scheming for an hour about," make up punchlines about how to get my pants off.
Right, yeah.
That's what guys do.
Yeah,
Guys are
yeah.
like, you know what you'd look better in? Nothing. Never had a chick come up and go,
Your
anything.
clothes would look better on my floor or something. Yeah.
none of
No.
that shit ever happened.
No.
It never does happen.
No.
And if it did, most guys would probably be like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Something ain't right.
This doesn't happen all the time. This is too good to be true.
Look, ultimately, instinctively as a man, you know what your ranking is. You know where you fit in the scale of
Oh, yeah.
0 to Brad Pitt or 0 to whomever is the hot guy
Right.
now. You truly, internally, you know what your number is.
And everybody always
And you
tries to
know
be
it-
nice when you go low. And, oh, no, you just need confidence.
If
Yeah,
somebody, if you got an 8, 9 that comes up to you,
bullshit. Right.
walks up to you unsolicited and says, "Hey,"
How you doing? Yeah.
I'm going to be like, no, I'm not 8, 9 material. I haven't been 8, 9 material since at least my late 30s, early 40s, and that was pushing it then. I'm on a solid 6, 6'5", maybe.
Yeah.
And so, what are you doing here? What's going on? Now.
What mental conditions are you trying to give me with your? Yeah.
I will tell you this: being funny is probably one of the number one luckily, one of the most attractive qualities.
Yeah.
Look, there's a lot of guys who've overcome appearance by being funny.
I will agree with that. Yeah.
Keeping someone laughing,
Right.
it can help.
Yeah.
And so I will say that's been a plus, but the rest of it, I'm just an average Joe. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just trying to make it. And I started balding when I was 24. So, I've had a friar tuck going since I was in my 30s. And now it's just I keep it trimmed down, low profile, so it doesn't look as bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did you start buzzing?
Me? So mine actually happened. So years ago, I was when I lived in Michigan, I was hosting trivia game shows at bars.
Okay.
And I don't know, I just had a knack for. They'd always send me out to these far out country bars, and I had a knack for making them packed out shows. And so there was one show that I did, and I told them, I was like, "Look, if y'all fill up this bar, I'll let you shave my head." And they were all for it. And hey, drunk people with clippers, because this is a great idea, Rich.
Always.
So anyways, they did it, and yeah, they brought clippers that night and shaved
You went
it.
full Breaking Bad.
And yeah, after that, everybody was kind of like,
Yeah, if you didn't have the beard side, you could be kind of that Breaking Bad.
right? Yeah, no, we're not losing the beard. No.
Put your little brim hat on.
Yeah.
Start doing that.
No.
Be the Walter White look.
Yeah, no.
No, I didn't say the whole beard. Just the side panels. You keep the goat,
Yeah,
and then that's a Walter White look.
I got you. I got what you're saying. I just
Yeah. Now you're saying no. It's
No.
not gonna happen.
No.
Guys that some guys, man, facial hair. They're like, no, I'm not. I shaved it once. I'll never do it again.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, I look completely different without the beard, and I don't like it.
I look completely different too, but
Without a beard?
with a beard.
Oh.
But I rocked a goatee for, I don't know, man, 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
And then when I got married, Laura was like, I wonder what it'd be like if you didn't have that.
Yeah.
And then I went, I kind of like that better actually now.
Yeah.
Because then, when you start doing it, typically you want to look a little older. You want to look a little more mature. When I started growing a mustache,
That's what it was for you?
Well, it meant you're an adult, right?
Yeah.
I can grow facial hair. I'm cool. I got a mustache. I must be a
Mine was out of laziness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't want to shave every day.
Yeah.
I don't want to wake up and shave, so
No,
I'm just gonna let it grow. And
It starts that way, and then you look a little older.
Yeah.
If you're 19, 20, and you want to look 23, 24, 25, you grow yourself a mustache and go to your beard.
I never had that problem.
No.
Because
you
when
look
I was
40
younger,
when you came
yeah, everybody when I was younger always thought I was way older than what I was.
Yeah.
I'd used to go into the store at 16 or whatever and buy, a candy bar or a Mountain Dew, and they'd be like, "Oh, we got a special on beer," and I'm like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
16, man. I can't, I thought they're trying to trick me into buying it to catch me or
That's
something,
funny.
and they're like,
That's
"No, they
funny.
think I'm like 30."
You could have been buying beer for your friends. Could have been making.
I could have been cool.
You could have been cool. Yeah. Yeah. No, that definitely is cool, isn't it? Oh man, I'm trying to avoid all the news that I have here because I don't really like any of it today.
Is it just not? It's not a good news day.
It's all a bunch of, you know what it is. It's all the same.
Didn't you say you had
same
something
political
earlier
stuff.
that you wanted? I forget what it was about. Though.
Let me see if I
said it was a
still
good
got it
topic
here.
hitter.
Yeah. Hold on.
We got we got a break here. I think Brad, and I haven't had a chance to tell you yet. But
What?
Brad Elkins, I think, is going to come in tomorrow.
Oh, okay, cool.
He's going to come hang out with us.
Yeah, that's dope.
And I think Latasha may pop in too. So
Oh,
we'll see.
okay.
She wants to
All right.
pop in at some
Okay.
time. So.
All right.
She just made it back from her trip up to Pennsylvania.
Oh,
she flew up
that's
there and
right.
flew back.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
survived. The plane was fine.
Yeah, so she made it. She's okay.
Yeah, she had posted yesterday on Facebook that it was the first episode ever that she missed of Patrick and the People.
Oh,
And that's why I was giving her hell earlier. 'Cause I
That's
was like,
funny.
thanks for fitting us into your schedule today,
that's
Latasha.
hilarious. Well, I'm sorry you missed it, but that does make me feel good that you enjoyed that much. I mean, that really does make me feel great. So I appreciate that. We had such great response yesterday from all the people who saw the Lulu cake.
Man, I got a couple messages about that.
Yeah,
For real.
No, I'm serious. Like everybody went kind of crazy about it, and so I hope that they got a good response. Or
Yeah.
they get a good response because I think they have such a cool product, and it's so different, and it's fun. It's just fun to have with your friends, eating cake.
It's
with
something
booze.
different. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Even if you just do it one time, it's for fun.
Right.
And it doesn't just have to be in the holidays.
And I think it feels a little like.
It feels a little naughty.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
It just feels a little naughty, but it's the right amount of it, Especially if you're not someone who just, ties one on all the time. It's
Right.
not like you're getting drunk on it, but it will give you just a little buzz.
Yeah.
I mean, it really will.
Kind of feel like you're getting away with something.
Well, I mean, I guess, yeah.
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 Don't have to be so ashamed of eating your ice cream, out in public. Meanwhile,
Your booze cake. No, but we really did. We had great responses on it yesterday. We've got some other folks who are going to be coming from the blocks as well, and I'm getting all those set up, as a matter of fact, over the next day or so, where we've got a company that does really cool shirts coming in, another one that does custom hats, not like ball caps, cowboy hats.
Okay.
Yeah, she does them like for large organizations, like, let's say, or large events. Let's say you were going to have a large scale family reunion.
Right.
Okay. And so everybody wants a hat with a certain thing on it for that reunion.
Right.
You could do that,
Okay.
or if you're a sports team.
Right.
And you
That's
want
what I
your
was just
logo
thinking.
on there, and so everybody can do it.
Some
She
wise
does-
guys cowboy hats, man.
She does. Well, they do that.
Right.
They do that for a lot of football teams. They do it for a lot of arena teams. So she's going to custom make a hat for us, for me in particular.
Okay.
Don't get too excited. And I'm just kidding. And send it so we can unbox it when we talk to her, just like we did with the Lulu.
That'll be awesome, man.
Yeah, it'll be cool. And then, like I said, we got another one with some shirts, and there's another one with that's really cool with virtual assistants,
Okay.
which you might be surprised at how many different ways a virtual assistant can benefit you. You might think to yourself, why would I need that in my life?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, if it's $6 an hour, okay, for a virtual assistant or whatever it is, it's very inexpensive.
Right.
Okay. But you could have them just editing video content. You can have them just posting videos for you. You can have them work your social media. You can have them do so many different things that you could have them like, here, you put this in a spreadsheet for me.
Right.
Whatever it is you can imagine, they can do it.
And these are real people. This isn't like an AI program.
No, they're real people that do it. And so it's a pretty fascinating thing.
And are they like
This guy,
are they like trained in certain like for me, like I'm thinking
yeah.
you mentioned
like in this case, the way their site works is you go there, you're looking for a certain thing, so it'll pull up the ones that fit that criteria. Then you watch a video of them talking about, here's the things that I do and offer and whatever, and based on that, you go, okay, that skill set, that's what I need right there.
Okay.
And so you'll see a little preview of them talking about, this is what I can do. These are the things, I work.
Yeah.
Word or Excel or whatever it is, or I can do video and you just pick from one, and it's pretty damn cool. He has a restaurant in Chicago, 2 of them, and there's nobody physically at the front counter.
Wait, there's no like
There's nobody physically in the drive-through. He has cameras. They have an iPad set up there.
okay.
And so the virtual assistant, is watching that. And when someone walks up to the counter,
They just like
they
hit a
greet him,
button.
hey, how you doing? Let me take your order. What can I get you?
Huh.
Same with the drive-through. And,
How do you get your food though?
Well, they have back of the house people who hand the food out or whatever.
So there is somebody. So like
Well, the humans that have to cook it or whatever, yeah. But
Okay.
there's nobody working the front where, there's nobody there to take your money. You just put it in the thing with the card or whatever. So that's a trip, isn't it?
that's crazy to think about.
It is,
but,
isn't it?
but there are okay. I guess that makes sense. Then.
Yeah.
Well, because that was going to be my next question. Okay. Well, if there's money on site and there's nobody there, I would think somebody would see
Well,
that
there-
as a prime opportunity. But
Sure,
there are
is-
people.
There are human beings there. They're just not working front of the house.
Interesting.
You might have a manager, and then you have, your back of house staff, your cooks, if they got people that clean or whatever.
Right.
But as far as the front area now, they
I'm gonna be
drive
interested
through,
to hear
yeah.
more about that because,
Yeah.
like, as you were talking about that, one of my big things, and that's that I've been trying to battle with is like, look, I grew up in MySpace and Facebook. That
Yeah.
was all there was, you know.
Sure.
And now there's Instagram and
There's
X
everything.
and Snapchat and 3 different pages on Facebook. And man,
Yeah.
no man, and I know part of trying to build your brand is you got to put yourself out there. But I just can,
It's hard.
I always fall short.
No, it's a never-ending battle. You can use like Hootsuite, or I think we have one we use. I'm trying to remember what the name of it is, but where you can push it out to multiple things at one time.
I've looked into a couple of those, but
I
like
mean, we have one that
yeah.
you can use.
I don't know. I may have to. Yeah.
I think it's Zoho
Okay.
is what it
Okay.
is, and if you get with Gunner, he'll give you, and that may alleviate some of that because you write one post and it disseminates
To everything. Yeah,
everything,
that's
yeah.
because like the ones that I have tried as far as apps and things that do
Yeah.
that, like I can direct it to like say my personal Facebook page.
Right.
But I can't also direct it to post on my
No.
announcing page on
Yeah, no,
Facebook.
this you can select multiple things, toggles, and send it to, a larger number of different social
people,
media. So
and
you
yeah.
could send it to, in theory, you could have a reel, an Instagram, a TikTok, a YouTube,
Right.
all of that,
All the different-
all of it going, or you could do a blog post that goes on, certain things. So it'll just send them all out at one time.
Right, right.
And we have that, so that may be helpful.
Okay, well, yeah, I may check that out. But yeah, that's what I would use a personal assistant for.
Yeah,
is
no,
like,
and I
man.
can see that, to help you manage your social media. Or,
Yeah, and at
it's-
$6 an hour, that's
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, whatever the amount is. I mean, I'm sure it's different for everything, but yeah, it's much lower than you would imagine, and you can leverage it in more ways than you can
Right,
imagine.
right.
And I think eventually a lot of people will do that.
yeah.
Because look, if you are trying to work a regular job and build some kind of side thing, like we're doing here,
Right.
sometimes it's great to have help.
Yeah, man, it
Shit,
can be a lot.
It's a lot.
It can be.
I tell people, if you knew how much was in this head every day, it would frighten you. It frightens me,
Right.
because there's so much in there. And
Well, yeah, when you have a lot of different hats that you have to wear,
Yeah. Yeah.
I totally get what you're.
and one day I'll grow up and I'll only have one job.
Yeah, no, no,
Probably not.
no.
It's
no.
probably not in my makeup to do that.
I've always said like even if I hit the lottery and won a gazillion dollars, I think I'd still do like 1 or 2 days a week as a Walmart greeter, just to be out. Like I could not work.
I probably would work on different things.
Yeah.
But they would be things, they would be more in line with somebody who has money. They'd be investment things.
I got you.
Growth opportunities, business opportunities.
Right.
So even if I got rich, no, I wouldn't stop doing things. I would want to travel more.
Yeah.
I'd love to see, that's really the goal that we have, is to travel all over to see different things we've never seen, be it different countries, different regions. We've been all over the Caribbean, but I've never been to Europe.
Yeah.
I've never been to Australia. 19-hour flight. 19 hours.
Yeah, that's a long.
That's a long ass flight.
Yeah.
But no, I've never been anywhere beyond the Caribbean and Mexico. And that's it.
Yeah.
I've been out Jamaica and Grand Cayman, but that's all Caribbean stuff that the cruise line goes to.
Right.
So I'd love to go to, as I said, Australia, Ireland, all over Europe.
Ireland would be fun. If I was going to go anywhere, I think Ireland would be fun.
Yeah.
I think it'd be nice and pretty. I've never been outside of the U.S., so
Yeah.
I've never gone out
Never
of the
gone on a
country.
cruise
Nope,
or-
never gone on a cruise. Most of my car rides most of our vacations were car rides and, an old,
Yeah.
big, huge box
Maybe
car.
maybe that's a goal we can put together, is doing maybe we set up a giant group cruise.
a PATP cruise.
Yeah, for real.
That'd be
we
crazy.
That'd be fun to do. Get everybody.
Just don't do it on Carnival.
Why?
Because they're like cracking down, man. You haven't heard about them lately?
What are they cracking down on?
Like on all like the guest policy, they're trying to. I guess they've had a bad rep or whatever as far as
Well,
everything that you can do on their cruise
Scrapping
lines.
and doing all the stuff they were doing.
Yeah, well now they've been sending out like letters to passengers and stuff before they come on board. Like we don't allow this. Like you can be charged this. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I've been on.
Doesn't sound like
cruises.
it'd be
I'm
fun.
not worried about it. No, you will have fun. Cruises are fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you may do it.
Latasha
3
says
times.
Bora Bora is her dream vacation.
Bora Bora is high on the list. Yes, that is high on the list. There's several in Belize. I want to go spelunking in Belize. Go into the caves and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not like the crazy people do where they crawl through those tight spaces. I'll kill myself. But just, to rappel down into those large caverns and be able to see that's really cool.
Wait. What? What is going on here?
What are you talking about?
Latasha says I have like 5 free cruises I can throw in for a PATP cruise.
What is
So
this?
that's why I'm like, wait a minute, what is
What is
this?
this sorcery you're speaking?
What do you
of?
mean you have 5 free? Like you have 5 free tickets to a cruise? Because, yeah, that's pretty
Well,
much
that's interesting for sure.
right.
I'd like to know more.
Yeah, let us
But
know more.
yeah, no, a cruise is fun because it's probably among the most economical ways to do it.
Yeah.
Number one, you're not driving other than to wherever you depart from.
Okay.
Number two, there's a ton of entertainment on the ship. So whether you want to go to a comedy club, if you want to gamble in the casino, if you want to go dance at the nightclub, if
Yeah.
you want to eat at different restaurants, I mean, the cruise ship has all that.
Right.
Usually they have some kind of amusement set up, whether it's water slide, whether it's putt-putt golf, whether they have all those kind of things.
And all that stuff is included in on
Yeah.
the, like you're not paying. I mean, of course, gambling you're paying your own money.
Well,
for,
yeah,
but-
gambling or
Eating.
if you ate the high-end steak or something, but otherwise everything's it's paid for.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
What about Guy Ferrari's burgers? Or
Yes.
Yeah. That was included.
that's included.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
That's and it's worth the price of admission.
That's
right
what I'm
there.
saying. Like that's
That
yeah.
son of a bitch right there. That's good stuff. But because if you go on a cruise, typically you go 3 places. So you're going to go like one Mexican city. So it might be you go Cancun, then you go to Grand Cayman, and then you go to Jamaica.
Right.
Or you might hit 2 Mexican ports and then a third one, in a different country.
Yeah.
So you're going to get 3 stops, and on each stop you can go do an excursion. You get off for the day, you go hang out, go to the beach, whatever it is you want to do in Jamaica or Grand Cayman or wherever it is, Then you come back onto the ship, and you got stuff to do all day and night. You know, it's for the most part it's 24/7. Now somewhere about 2:00 in the morning, it really dies down on the ship.
Okay.
But prior to that, it's
just,
pretty lit.
Yeah.
It's pretty lit. Yeah.
Just a
Yeah,
nonstop
people are-
party wherever you go, huh?
It is.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, people they're throwing down. They're getting down. They're having fun. And it is fun. You get out there and people get to drinking, but I've never seen anybody fight when I was on a cruise, but it does seem to happen.
All right. We could do like a live, remote broadcast on a cruise ship from them. No.
You can. A lot of times you can. Yeah. A lot of times they have a area set up where you can do that.
We need to get this going, man. We need to.
It would be fun to have a PATP cruise, I think.
That would be.
I think that's a good goal for us to set up for the future. I think that'd be awesome, actually.
Brad was saying PATP needs merch, at least some T-shirts. So that's what I
We
was
have
looking
that.
at.
Go
Yeah.
to patrickandthepeople.com and you can order right there, buddy. You absolutely can. We've got that on tap. What?
Oh, I was just But he said, "How the hell did I not know this?" And I was like,
I don't know. Some people, I guess, still don't. But yeah, you can go over to patrickandthepeople.com and go ahead and order whatever you like over there. I am thinking about adding some new stuff. Talked yesterday about updating a shirt where it says "Tribe for the Tribeless."
"Yeah, man."
I think that's our new tagline underneath. So it's Patrick and the People, a tribe for the tribeless. That's how I see
I
it.
want the new shirt. Yeah,
Yeah. Because I think that's such a fitting term.
man.
So,
I'm glad that you like that and that it
no, I
it
do.
stuck.
I do. I'll continue to give you accolades on that.
I was,
it really was so succinct and flawless for what I was trying to encapsulate in that moment.
I was sitting at the house yesterday, and I had posted on Facebook about it because I was scrolling through, and you had mentioned the tribe for the tribeless yesterday on yesterday's show,
Mm-hmm.
and then I noticed that and I've been seeing, which by the way, absolutely love it, but I've been seeing just posts from everybody and everything about the Wise Guys game on
Oh
Saturday.
yeah.
And within the posts and the comments and everything, I'm scrolling through and I'm seeing who runs this town, and I'm like,
That's great.
yeah, okay.
No, that is great, man.
Yesterday, I kind of had a little moment, and I was like, "Good job, Brain. You've been doing good lately. You've been coming up with some good things."
No, that is good. You know, that I think that's great. When you have those moments, you have to savor them because you know the other moments you've had.
Right.
We've all been there.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're,
Oh, yeah.
you're laying on the ground staring up from getting knocked down, and you're like, Jesus, that's a big climb. You know, so when you get to a place and good things happen, you got to stop.
Yeah,
And
man.
you got to go, there's no magical place called happiness, but this moment right here
This
is pretty
works.
magical.
Right.
So let me just sit in it for a second.
Right.
You know, and learning to do that and not rush yourself out of that moment is so powerful.
Yeah.
Because you can just sit there and go, yeah, you know what? I sit in the shit pile when it happens.
Right. Why not sit?
Why can't I sit in this for a minute and go, yeah, this feels good?
That's a great way to put it, though, because that's why I really posted about it on Facebook, because I was like, it's pretty cool to know that just off the dome, I came up with these couple of things
Yeah.
that have just, people adopted and stuck with, and was like, hey, that's a great way, a great underlying tone for the show, the tribe
Yeah.
for the tribeless, and on the flip side of that, 1,800 people went, Wise Guys, when
Yeah.
I said, who runs this town?
Right.
And they responded, and not only responded at the game, but outside of the game still
Yeah,
went,
there's-
that's a great thing to even post.
No, it's fantastic. It's good for you. It's good for them. It's good for everybody. And it's always good to be validated. It's always
Right.
good
That's
to
what,
know,
yeah.
To go, I think that I have a talent in a way, but, how do you know until you know?
Right.
You know, you think you do, but until it's put to the metal enough times, you don't know you do.
Well, no,
You know?
yeah.
And so I think, and when you see such fruit rapidly
Right.
grow like that, you get that moment where you go, oh, yeah, sometimes I do come up.
Right.
Sometimes I come up with some bullshit.
Well, and it's you were mentioning
not saying
about
you
that,
do,
and for us, I would imagine, of course, you with your radio background and have gone through this too. But with us in the radio background and possibly voiceover work, you don't ever get. Oftentimes, when you audition for something or apply for a position, you don't hear back why you didn't get it.
No.
You just hear, hey, thanks for your submission. We decided to go with somebody
Yeah,
else.
that's-
You don't know whether it was your voice. You don't know if maybe the director was just like, yeah, I don't like bald people, so I'm not going to have him do it. Like,
Yeah, no, you never know. And so.
so any little bit, like you were saying, of, hey, yeah, you do have this.
yeah.
You do deserve to be here. Is
because just like, well, you do get some instant feedback because you got them yelling.
Right,
Those guys,
right.
But it's like with when you do this broadcasting, right?
Right.
Now, we do have the fortune of having instant commentary.
Right.
But even with that, if you drop a line, if you say something you think's funny, how do you know?
Right.
How do you know it hit?
Yeah, it's not like,
How do you know it landed? Honestly, how would you know? There's no laugh track. There's nobody that goes, that's the funniest thing ever.
Right.
Sometimes they will, but most of the time, they're just listening to the show or watching the show and they laugh and they move on with their life. But you don't hear that. Laugh.
Right.
So you don't know what joke sticks, what joke doesn't until they circle back on you.
Right.
When something circles back more than once, you start to go,
Oh.
okay, maybe there's something there.
Right,
The
right.
harvest.
Absolutely.
But it does feel great to have that when those moments happen. And those are two great things. And I'm sure that with the Wise Guys, you just now are getting your toes in it. I'm sure you're going to come up with a whole lexicon of, things that will be utilized, throughout the calling of the game because that's how you operate. That's your MO. You're very methodical in thinking it through and working on all the angles. So I think that you'll, I'm sure, come up with many jewels that will.
I hope so.
As long as they're there,
Right.
probably stick to some degree.
That would
because
be
you're going to be, no matter what happens, you're the first guy
to ever.
to ever call for the Wise Guys, no
That is
matter
true.
what happens. You understand
I
that?
don't even know. I mean, up until this point, but yeah,
I mean,
that's your.
No matter what happens, you are in the DNA.
Yeah, you
of
are
the
absolutely
growth
right. Yeah.
of the Wise Guys. And if they succeed, it's unavoidable that your DNA is left there.
Right.
Much like you have at many people's houses, I'm sure. Let's do this. How about that? Just hold on. You can read it in a minute.
Listen up now, I'll tell you a story. Without a doubt, it's kinda gory. It's the worst news you could ever hear. Things just like this make you fear. Lying lunched on a dumb guy's knee, or a big aardvark
Let's just bring it down at a lion lunched on a dumb guy.
Right.
Let's just put it right there. See, and I want you to know that I never, ever feel sorry for these people, ever. And today is no exception. I don't feel bad for them. A lion killed a man at a luxury lodge in the remote northwest of Namibia.
What?
Yeah, in Africa. He was camping with other tourists, a businessman named Bernard Keppel, and he was at a tented resort when the early morning tragedy unfolded. Keppel, who was 59, camping with his wife and his buddies near the Ohonib Skeleton Coast Camp when he was attacked by the animal. He was attacked when he stepped out of his tent to use the toilet. Other campers did scare off the lion, but Keppel was already dead by then. Police were attending the scene, and a full report will be submitted, they said, in due course. He was a philanthropist who supported wildlife conservation in Namibia. And let's see what it says. Desert adapted lions roam the remote northwest of the country where mountains and sand dunes meet. Yeah. So there were about 60 adults there, lions.
I mean, you said this was in what, Africa?
Yeah.
You went camping in Africa.
Yeah, on a luxury camping trip.
On a luxury camping
In a
trip.
place
I get it.
where there's a lot of lions.
And walked out your tent and went, oh my God, they're welcome to freaking camping.
Yeah.
Like,
welcome to Africa, son.
right. That's, yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing in the United States you don't have are lions.
No, but we got to worry about bears.
Sometimes,
I mean,
but not all that often.
yeah.
Lions just roam around out there. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
My point is, though, you're going out to a country to camp. Like, clearly you have a chance of running into some type of animal that could probably kill you.
And I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm in Africa, when I unzip my tent,
Yeah, that's
I'm
the first
peeking
thing.
out first.
Right.
And I might have something that comes out with a little mirror so I can look around, make sure before because I don't want to die.
I was so mad when we were camping this weekend, man.
You were?
Oh, God.
Why?
Because, so I had gotten back after the game to the campground. We were up there, like I said, with kiddo's grandma. But I had gotten back at, 1 o'clock in the morning, right? Mm-hmm. And so I was winding down from the game, and I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom or whatever. And the little, stall bathroom is, just a few feet away. So I walked up to it. Anyways, long story short, throughout the whole weekend, man, the doors were bolted shut to the bathroom. All weekend long up at the campground. And I was like, you would think that,
Why would they?
I don't know. I never found out, but it kind of ticked me off because, the campsites are right next to each other.
Yeah.
I don't want to just piss in somebody else's backyard, but.
No, but I mean,
hey, you got to do what you got to do.
That's what I was going to say. You got to survive.
Right. It just, yeah.
That's.
It's like, who bolts the doors shut at a campground?
Well, I don't know. Maybe, man, I'm not sure. That's a good question. Yeah, I know. We took a travel trailer to Hot Springs and stayed at a place, but they had
bathrooms outside.
they had
Yeah.
bathrooms.
Yeah, it didn't make any
there
sense to me.
Yeah, I don't even understand that at all. Have you ever run into any kind of attacking animal in the wild that wasn't a female? I mean, I'm sure you've experienced that, but I'm just any kind of bear or dog, anything that attacked you. Or
Oh yeah, I mean, I was a FedEx driver for a little while, man. I was attacked by dogs all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
but no, not out in the
Did
woods.
you know what was the worst dog thing you battled?
Worst dog.
The one that either caused you the most pain or whatever.
So there was one that was more of an annoyance than anything. It was wintertime, and I was at this time actually I wasn't working for FedEx. I was a meter reader for the electrical company.
Okay.
But anyways, I was at this person's house, and their little Chihuahua was outside, And he saw me come around the backyard to, read their gas meter or whatever and type in the numbers. Anyways, that little chihuahua, like, I had gloves on. This is winter in Michigan, so
Yeah.
I'm all set up for winter outside. That little chihuahua came and, like, latched onto my hand of my glove, with my glove on, but just latched on like he was trying to bite me. And I'm not feeling anything, but I pick up my arm, and the little dog's just hanging there, the little chihuahua, and I'm like, come on, get off, man, like, let me go. I gotta, you can't come with me. You're not and this is really annoying to just carry you around on my hand all day.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I ended up spraying him with pepper spray.
You sprayed the Chihuahua
Oh,
with pepper
yeah.
spray?
Oh, yeah. He wouldn't get off my hand, man. So
Did
I
he
was
bother
like,
you?
you know what?
Did he bother you again?
No, but I kind of felt bad because the rest of the day as I was walking around the neighborhood, all you could hear was just, yap, 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 yap.
Yeah, no, you dusted him.
Stupid chihuahua.
They are annoying.
They are, man.
No, I had
That is
some.
like
they're,
the worst.
They're yappers.
Yeah.
They like you if you're the owner, but nobody else.
Yeah.
And they're pea brains.
And they just sit there and shake, and I just
they're
want to.
almost impossible. They're practically impossible to potty train.
I'm not a mean-spirited
They're real
person,
dumb.
but if there was ever like a punt the dog competition for Chihuahuas, I would be the first one to sign up, for sure.
I promise you, squirrels are smarter. That's not a joke. You could have a squirrel that's a pet who would do much better as a pet than a Chihuahua.
Yeah.
No, they'll pee anywhere, they'll poop anywhere. They just don't care. Doesn't matter how many treats you give them, how you do get them outside. None of that matters. They're just going to do it wherever. They're just idiots.
So what about you? Have you ever run into a wild animal that
No,
tried to kill you?
We were just talking about that last night. We were talking about somebody online had posted a video where they'd run across a large rattlesnake.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I'm so, I guess, fortunate that because as a kid, we played in the woods all the time.
Yeah.
We built forts. We rode bikes. We did all that stuff. And, I was in the military, spent a lot of time in the field, in woods and, different areas, desert areas, all kinds of stuff. Never encountered a rattlesnake one time.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen plenty of cottonmouths. You can go to the river and see those all day long.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was weird. I was watching them fish off the dam, the little spillway in the Saline River. You'll see 6, 8 of them over there just fishing.
Yeah.
Diving their head in and getting the fish. But I've never encountered a rattlesnake.
Yeah.
But I'm certain a lot of people have. But no, the only thing animal that ever bit me, well, 2 of them, a horse when I was a little kid, but a cat when I tried to break up 2 cats that were fighting. But that's it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I've never had an animal that, attacked
That you
me
had to fear of.
No. The older I get, can I tell you the dumbest story?
Sure.
I've been mad at myself now for a day and a half, and this is the dumbest story I'm going to tell you, okay? This may be the dumbest story I've ever told in my life, but I'm
enjoying the setup so far.
This is dead level. This is dead ass, okay? So my wife says, hey, can you come in here? There's a spider on the wall. Will you get it and take it outside? And I was like, yeah. And so I came in and I looked at it and I was like, oh, it's a jumping spider. They're cool.
Oh, we were just talking about those, yeah.
And so I got a little container and I got him in the container and then I took him to the garage, right by the driveway where the garage meets the driveway, and I sat him down. And
Did you smoke out the spider?
No, he ran back into the garage into wherever he went. And I went and sat down, and I'm like, man, I'm an idiot. I just was talking about how fun these guys are. Why didn't I just put him on my hand and start, talking to him and see if I could get him to actually be like they do in these videos? Because you think I'm bullshitting. I know you do. I know you're listening right now. You're going, man, you're on something right now. Like, how high are you? You're wanting to talk to spiders. But I swear to God, if you go to YouTube, if you go to TikTok, Instagram, and you just put in jumping spider pet, your mind will be blown. And second of all, if you look at them up close, they're the friendliest looking thing you'll ever see. They just look like the nicest animal on the planet they just look happy for some reason. And I'm like, I want to be a friend with him. Now, how stupid is that? that I felt bad for like
For the spider-
for a day
for-
and a half because I let him go and
Right.
didn't try to make friends.
You just
Try-
wanted a friend, man.
That's
Come
what I'm saying.
on.
I mean, I had to relocate him and everything. He just got up the wall, and here I am relocating him. Like, the least I could have done is be more hospitable. See, look how friendly he looks.
Dude, that looks... No.
He looks friendly, doesn't he? Look at his little mouth right there. Looks like he's talking. Come on, man. You're going to tell me you wouldn't hang out with that?
Nah. I definitely killed one of those, though.
Did you?
Yeah.
They won't hurt you, man.
Yeah.
Most of the spiders won't hurt you.
It
at all.
looks like a freaking, like, almost a tarantula,
Oh,
man.
they're little bitty. They're about this big. Look. They're like the end of your pinky
He's got, like, a
size.
whole, like, shelf of this dude is weird.
Well, yeah.
If I walked into somebody's house and they had
He's a, what do you call him?
arachna, whatever.
He's that guy.
Look at all those spots on his face, man. That's all those bites from these
Let's
guys.
see. No, it's not. Look, they're friendly. Man, this guy, I was watching a video where it would run around his computer and then come back and jump right back on his hand.
Yeah.
He'd call it, it'd come right back on his hand. And I'm like, man, that's crazy.
Jay Sorsby says he's got a jumping spider in his kitchen that he feeds.
Do you really? What do you feed it? Flies? What do you feed it? I'm just curious. I mean, and did he just wander up one day and you started feeding him? Did you how did that work out? Are you trying to cultivate a relationship? What's happening? Because I want a kitchen jumping spider too.
Come take it off your hands.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're cool, man. I do. I don't know. I used to be an arachnophobe.
I don't know,
And
man.
now, look, there's certain spiders I don't want around. If I see,
I'm with
a
Latasha.
brown-
She says
a
she
brown
hates.
recluse, it's dead.
Yeah, yeah.
A brown recluse gonna die.
I'm not taking the time to find out whether it's friendly, whether it's cool, whether it wants to go to a party, maybe hook up and go bowling sometime. No, it's
pretty
dead.
obvious if you look at it. Is it crunchy and black, or is it gangly with a raised up brown body?
That thing looks gangly.
It does not look gangly. It looks thick and furry with a nice, happy, bearded face like yours. How do you think he feels when he sees your giant dome coming towards him? You think he's excited? Oh, this guy wants to be my friend.
Yeah.
He's like, look at this giant, furry bastard coming at me. Where's the hair on his head? What happened to that anyway? Brandon said they'll recognize their owner. What's up, Mark? How you doing, buddy?
Y'all
What's up, Sean?
know a lot about these spiders, whatever.
Little
Jumping
Doggy
spiders.
said there's a woman who has one that lives in a little spider house on her desk. Oh, Jay said injured flies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good times right there. That's good times when you throw them yeah, still kicking a little bit. That's terrible, isn't it? See how unsentient we feel about the fly.
Right.
The flies are just annoying. They don't get it. They just keep circling and landing on your face when you don't
Right.
want them to. And you've warded them off 52,000 times.
They're like the
And
cats
they
of the
just keep
flying
coming.
insects. Yeah.
The spider knows, hey, I'm not trying to get in your grill.
Right. I just want to jump
I'm
around.
trying to slink down the wall and get to a fly and not be caught. You know what I mean? I'm low key here, bro. Hey, what's up, Rachel? How are you? Good to see you online. Appreciate you being here. He said that it. What's he saying?
I have no idea. I don't even know where
Oh,
Rachel was. Where are you?
Oh, I'm on the comment section, just looking. What's going on with your world? Man?
I have no idea, man. It's all gotten messed up over jumping
So
spiders.
I don't know how the hell you think those look friendly or cute, Landon.
Oh, there
said.
it is.
I don't know, man. I don't know. They just have it like a smiley face to me, the jumping spider. I don't know. Maybe look, I'm weird, okay, people? That's really what it comes down to. I'm fucking weird, all right? So,
Tactical said, what about the spiders in your house watching you decorate your house with plastic spiders for Halloween? How do you think they feel about that? They're probably like, what the
oh, look, it's an
wrong with
homage.
this sick freak?
No, it's an homage to us. This is really cool. He really does care. I didn't think he really liked me. I thought it was bullshit. But now that he's putting up this big giant web and the spider, makes me feel good. You know what? I want to share this fly with him.
You're ridiculous.
All right, we're out of here.
Have a good one, y'all.